Well, today's video is going to be a rant. Was meant to come out yesterday, but I kind of lost the juices, but they're ready and I'm hot. As you can tell from the title of the video, we are talking about paying the players, Major League Baseball players. Pay them. This offseason is the second offseason in a row where we have seen top free agents not signed when spring training starts. Now, last season, there was a lot of good free agents. We saw Jake Arrieta sign late. We saw JD Martinez sign late. We saw Moustakas sign late. We saw a lot of late signings. But this offseason was absolutely loaded, and the two best free agents on the market, Bryce Harper and Manny Machado, are still yet to be signed. These guys do not compare to the type of free agents that were on the market last year. This year was supposed to be the big year everyone was talking about. Bryce Harper's a free agent, Manny Machado, Craig Kimbrell, Dallas Keuchel. There was a ton of talent on the free agent market, and we still see an insane amount of really good players not signed. So I'm going to be ranting about owners not paying players properly. I'm going to be ranting about fans for some reason siding with the owners and not siding with the players. I don't understand that. That's what's really getting me going. But first, let me start off by telling you why I'm so hot. It all starts with the Jacob deGrom situation. Jacob deGrom, who has been a great pitcher for the Mets since 2014, probably their best pitcher in their organization. Pretty much since last season, there's been talks that he wants a contract extension with the Mets, and he deserves it. His numbers are disgusting. We, of course, know he won the Cy Young last season, but in his 5 years with the Mets, he has a 2.67 ERA and a 1.072 whip. He's pitched about 900 innings, struck out 1,000 batters. Jacob deGrom has been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, let alone just for the Mets. The man deserves to get paid. So I believe it was yesterday, Jacob deGrom was answering questions from the media. A question came up about an innings limit because Jacob deGrom's agent has brought up conversations about an innings limit for players that haven't had contract extensions yet. So of course deGrom was asked about it, and here's how he answered.
If they don't reach a deal, deGrom could limit his innings during the season to try and avoid overuse and injury. But when asked if that was something he'd consider at Thursday's press conference, he struggled to answer.
I think that's going to be a discussion that's going to have to be had with my agent. That's going to be, I'm going to have to sit down with them and really see what they think is best for me moving forward.
Was this a perfect answer? No, because clearly there are a lot of people who are saying some really stupid things and have misinterpreted what he said. But if you listen to what he said nothing wrong. He didn't say that he wants to have an innings limit. He didn't say, yeah, I'm only pitching 150 until I get a contract extension. All he said was, I have to talk to my agent about it, because his agent is the one who made the comments, not Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom has proven that all he wants to do is go out and compete and win games for the New York Mets. That was evident last year, considering the Mets sucked and couldn't even get this dude wins with a 1.7 ERA, but what did he want to do? He kept out and kept pitching his heart out every single time. So for Met fans to possibly think about calling him out for not wanting to give his all, for not wanting to be there for the Mets, is stupid. The Mets were ass for him last year, and what did he do? He went out and pitched 32 games. He pitched 217 innings. 2015, he made 30 starts for us in our World Series run. 2017, he threw 200 innings. So to say that this guy is not going to go out there and pitch his heart out, and to question if he's actually there for the New York Mets or if he's going to do this innings limit is stupid. If you're one of these people calling Jacob deGrom a piece of shit, an idiot, a moron, a traitor, you. You're an idiot. Listen to what the guy said, read what he said. Don't just go off these headlines that the New York Post and everyone else puts so that you click on the article. Actually listen to what was said. Listen to the question that was asked to him. Know the history of why that question was asked. Stop being a moron. Yeah, it's one of those videos. I'm dropping F-bombs today. You're going to be hearing a lot of bleeps. So this sparked my whole thing, because if the Mets just paid the guy what he deserves, gave him the contract extension that he deserves, this question wouldn't even have to come up. And this is the whole sentiment that's going around baseball right now, is people are not paying their players. Now, of course, in the last 48 hours, we've seen Aaron Nola and Luis Severino sign new contracts, but that's to avoid arbitration. Jacob deGrom is in the arbitration process right now, and he's getting ready to become a free agent. Nola and Severino, they got lots of time before they hit free agency. So for the people saying that deGrom should take a discount like Severino and Nola, no, it's not the same. Luis Severino became arbitration eligible last year, and I believe Nola was either the same or this was his first year of arbitration. So it's not the same situation. I don't want to hear that. But back to paying players. There's a weird narrative going around in baseball about players' value and that players are not worth long-term contracts. You have a lot of people saying that these big-time contracts never work out. It's not worth it. It buries teams. And while there are some cases, Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera, who recently had big contracts given to them, and it hasn't necessarily panned out as planned, but here's where I argue the case. Manny Machado and Bryce Harper are not the same players as Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera, and here's the big difference. Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols, Hall of Famers, without a doubt. They were amazing players, and at the time they signed the contract, they were great as well. But they weren't 26 years old. Albert Pujols was 32, Miguel Cabrera was 33, 6 and 7 years older than Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. So let's go ahead and say that you give Bryce Harper and Manny Machado a 10-year contract. They are more than halfway done with that contract when they hit the age that Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols signed for. Cabrera signing an 8-year contract, and Pujols Pujols, who signed a 10-year contract. So you have 4 years left of Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, where you gave Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera 10 more years. It's not the same. Stop comparing it to those contracts. They're not the same. Machado and Harper are in their primes. You got Pujols and Cabrera at the end of their prime. You want to know better contracts to compare to? Alex Rodriguez when he signed in 2001 with the Rangers. 10 years, $252 million, I think it was. Look at Alex Rodriguez's numbers from the 2001 season to 2011. One bad season in those, and that was 2011 where he was hurt. Now, I understand the Yankees got a new contract with Rodriguez when they got him, but go from that original contract years. 2001 to 2010, 9 of the 10 years, he was one of the best players in all of baseball. He was disgustingly good. Every single year, besides 2011, Alex Rodriguez had 30 plus homers, 100 plus RBIs, an average of 270 or higher, an on-base percentage approaching 400 every year, slugging percentage is pretty much being in 600s or at least above 500, OPS is in the 900 pluses, and that would be pretty much the same time frame as signing a guy like Bryce Harper or Manny Machado. Neither of those guys are going to be hitting 50 plus home runs like A-Rod did. But the fact of the matter is they're very comparable players. They are both at the top of their game and top players in baseball. And in 2001, A-Rod got paid $250 million. How are you telling me Manny Machado and Harper aren't worth more than that now when baseball is making more money than it ever has? Take the revenues from baseball now and compare them to 2001. Major League Baseball revenue in 2001 was $3.58 billion. In 2018, Major League Baseball made $10.3 billion in revenue. That is a record. So you're telling me baseball is making 3 times as much more money, but a guy like Bryce Harper and Manny Machado can't make 50, even $75 million more dollars than Alex Rodriguez? That's a load of shit. People are saying these guys aren't worth. Let me tell you something. If you win one World Series with one of these guys, does their contract become worth it? Because there's a lot of teams that these guys could be the final piece of that could push them to win a World Series. Bryce Harper could be that final piece in Los Angeles or Chicago. Send him to the Angels. Put Manny Machado on the Angels. Or even better, how about you take some teams that are maybe in the rebuilding stage, you get them, you finally have that star piece to build around. You've got the Padres and White Sox who are interested, who are getting ahead of the curve. They're like, oh, let's get him now, and then when our young guys come up, we'll have an amazing core around him. Now, yes, I don't expect the Kansas City Royals, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Oakland A's to ever sign a guy like this. That's not how they operate. But there are about 20 teams in baseball that could use these players and could make them a better team. And they're not going after them. They're not giving them money because, oh, they're not worth it. We've seen the Pujols and Cabrera contracts. They're not paying out. No, stop comparing it to those. Let's even look at the Manny Ramirez contract. A guy who was signed at 29 years old, 8 years, $160 million. Again, that was in 2001. Baseball was making 3 times as much money as it was then. Oh, what's that? Manny Ramirez had pretty much good seasons up until 2008, age 36? Age 36, if you signed Harper and Machado to a 10-year deal, that would be when their contract ends. So you would be getting these players in their prime, their probably 10 best seasons. And you can't even give them $300 million for 10 years, $30 million a year. Not to mention what they will do for your stadium. You're selling out your stadium almost every single night. I think about a team like the New York Mets. They got a Harper and Machado. They are selling out season tickets today. That's quite a bit of revenue there. Oh, and then jersey sales, and then hat sales, and then your food sales go up. Everything. All your revenue is going to spike signing a player like this. I don't understand why teams won't do this. Actually, I do know why teams won't spend it, but that's a time for another video. Yeah, I'm calling out sabermetrics, guys. But it's absolutely stupid, absolutely dumb that these guys are not getting paid what they're worth. And again, if you're a fan who says that they're greedy for trying to get more money, you're an idiot. You're stupid. Don't say that. Let me put it in terms that you understand. Don't think of it as hundreds of millions of dollars. Let's put it in terms of how you might understand it. Let's say you're making $50,000 a year. For the last 5 years, you've been busting your ass at your job. You've been killing it. You deserve a promotion. You deserve a raise, correct? So you go to your boss and you say, okay, I think it's time for me to make some more money, and here's why. You prove why. You've shown all the work you've done. The boss gives you the answer of, well, you know, you've proven that you don't need to make more money. You've been living just fine. You've been working just fine, making $50,000 a year. Why would I give you a raise? You've been doing just fine. You don't need more money. Do you really? You don't need more. Your boss at work would go, I know a bunch of people who would work for $50,000. Because that's basically what you're saying to Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. Just because it's more amount of money doesn't mean that they don't deserve to get paid what they're worth. And baseball players all around the league deserve to get paid what they're worth. Justin Verlander came out and said, I couldn't agree more. Teams are scared of bad contracts. I get it. They look at some of the contracts in recent past and have seen that teams have gotten burned. But these are not the same types of players. It is not very often you get star caliber players who come on the free agent market at age 26, 27 years old. Pujols, Cabrera, these guys got signed late in their career, in their 30s. And in the case of Verlander, his contract actually even panned out. He was signed in 2010. Following year, Cy Young MVP. The year after that, he was second in the Cy Young. Houston inherited his contract, won a World Series. He's going to be a free agent at age 36, 37. I mean, you get the 10 best years of these guys. How do you not pay them? Pay the players. The whole idea of fans being against players getting paid and siding with team owners just absolutely blows your mind. The team owners couldn't care less about you as a fan most of the time. It's about making money for them. The players are going out there and playing hard every single day. Owners have proven time in and time out that the fans' best interest is not always theirs. So why as a fan do you side with the owners continuously this offseason and not with the players? It's just ridiculous. You know what the lowest valued team is in Major League Baseball? How much they're worth? $1 billion. That's right, the Rays, the Oakland A's are worth $1 billion. And you're siding with those guys over the players? How? Look at a team like the Marlins. They just got bought for $1 billion and they got rid of everyone. They're not spending any money. How can you side with guys like that? So it's a rant. I'm upset. I'd like to know your opinions down in the comment section below. If you side with the owners, I'm angry at you. It's just, I need to make a rant. I needed a video. It seemed perfect. And yeah, that's going to be it. Pay the players.